Yay, y'all are here. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm having a good day, still a little bit jet lagged, but I'm going to show you this process because I promised. So, over this time, by the way, I'm Dr. Wilhelmina, and this isn't about doctoring, it's about education. And I'm going to show you how to do your eyebrows strictly with your hand, no stencils or anything like that. But listen, I struggled a lot with doing my eyebrows. I've been on camera back in the day doing them, and I'll mess them up. But I finally got it where I can just do it on my own. Thank you, cuz. Thank you. I've been working on this skin with my skincare product, and it's going well. As you can see, it's going well. So let me start. I don't like to lag, I like to get into it. Okay, so I got my utensils. First, I use this very cheap beauty supply store pencil. It's just a simple pencil. It probably, hey Karen, cousin Karen, it didn't cost me much. I don't even know how much it costs. It's that cheap. And I use a brown because for my skin tone, black is just too harsh, and age, black is just too much. So I use a dark brown pencil. You see, I sharpened it. This is a sharpener on the end, convenient and cheap. And then one other thing you could use, which is probably about 20 bucks, it's the Anastasia pencil. It's really thin. So what we're going to start with, this really thin comes in handy, but I'm not using it this time because I've gotten good with this cheap pencil. So let me put this down for now. I like this one though because it has a spoolie on the end, which is good for rubbing off excess makeup once it's dry. Mascara once it's dry, or when you need to hit these eyebrows, brush them up. And so I'm doing that now with the spoolie, kind of brushing them up. Okay, so let's start. First, I drew you a diagram, Cousin Verlene, and it shows exactly what I'm getting ready to do here. So I'm gonna push this back so you can see both eyebrows. Okay, first, you want your pencil really sharp. You don't want it dull because when it's dull, it makes fat lines. You wanna just have it sharp. You can smear that out, those lines with a brush, but we're gonna start with this. Hey, Carla. So I've got my mirror here too to help me. So if I'm not looking at you, that's why. So first, you know how right here you have the beginning of your eyebrows and they should start right here. And then the middle is here where you'll have your arch is from, it's a diagonal. Sorry, this is a big pencil, but a diagonal in the middle where my arch starts. And then on the end, it should come out to here. So I already know where mines are, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so let's go. Hey. So you're gonna draw these lines like this, really quick, kind of flicking it, right? That's your front hair. And when you look at your eyebrow, this hair it should never be like a thick block. You know how sometimes they do the blocks? I mean, if you want to do this natural, this is the way you should do it. See how my hair is thicker there? I took a pencil off my eyebrows just so you could see what they're like beforehand. So see how that's gotten a little thicker, it's natural, it's not looking crazy or anything, right? So when you have a small pencil, this isn't really the color I want to use, but I'll use it just to show you when you have the small tip, what happens. This is the Anastasia pencil, which costs more. And you flick, they're small, it's even more looking like hairs. You see that? It's just a darker color than I like to use. And I tend to break the tips of this one. So anyway, so you start there. Hi, Marty. Then you want to take the pencil and go from here out to the line you want for your under eye. It's just a line. That's it. So we're going to go up here. Because out here is where I want that height, right? Because I want it to go up a little. Hopefully I didn't do that too heavy. Kind of bring it up like that, right? Then meet it here. See, if you have a stencil, this is kind of how the stencil goes. Meet it here and come out. Don't go too far down. Don't droop your eyebrows down, but bring it down. And see how that line's kind of crazy looking the way I did it, but that's my line. And the thing about your eyebrows, they're never going to be the same. So they're more like siblings rather than twins. So there I got my line going up, and I come out, and I do this every day, and they aren't the same every day. They're never the same. But that's how it is when you're doing it by hand, or even if you use a stencil, they're never really exactly the same. So, okay, now the next thing I want to do after that is go above the line. So if I had a little pencil, it'd be a really thin line. Let me show you on the other eyebrow. Now this is the eyebrow that doesn't like to cooperate, but sometimes I have to raise my eyebrow to do it. But so, because I have some kind of scar in here, and when I go, it just doesn't go right. So go this way, going up, see, with the thin pencil, and then coming out. Kind of a little down, but not way down. You want to keep them kind of out because you don't want to bring your eyebrow down. And see how that's thin? We'll fill that in a minute. Me too, girl. Don't you see me trying to see? Okay, so fill that in, right? See how I'm filling it in now? I got my line. I know where I want to go. I'm filling it in. I went a little heavy because I'm showing you. But what you can do is you can kind of blend that out if you get a little too much. This is my sponge. Okay, that's the fat pencil. So this is what I do every day with the fat pencil. But the thinner one is good for beginners because you can avoid making the mistakes. You can also use the little bottle of dark cream with a thin pencil, and you could do this part that I'm doing now with that and just kind of fill it in. See how I still have that height right there? Fill it in. Okay, see it? You see them? Now, we're not done. That's just enough eyebrow on to work with, right? It's not too heavy. I put a little more than I usually do because I'm showing you all, but so you can see the lines. I usually go a little less than this because this is heavy for me. Okay, the last thing I would do, I forgot where to buy these products. Okay, Verlene, this one, I just got it at a beauty supply house. It's got the little sharpener on the end. It's cheap. It's a cheap pencil. And then this one I think I got it on Base, but you can get it at any store that sells cosmetics like a Macy's, or no, not a Macy's, no, maybe Macy's, but like your department stores. They have Anastasia, and they have all types of pencils. There's a thin one and there's a thick one. I like this thin one if I'm gonna get them. So now I'm gonna take this brush. We're not done. Hey, Lenora. This brush, see how it is, and it's flat. So I have this is really, it is not a primer. It's a primer for the eye, for eyeshadow. You put it on for eyeshadow, but I like it because of the color. So you can get a creamy pot of color. It's creamy, a light color that isn't too light for your skin. And then you're gonna go in, and I really have to use my mirror for this. I'm gonna go in, and what this is gonna do, you see I have hairs all down here because I haven't waxed in a long time. I rarely do. Yeah, Ulta would be good too. And I'm gonna take and go underline under the eyebrow. It's hard for me to see without these glasses on. And see how I'm shaping that? It's a thin line, and I'm getting it right. See how that cleaned it up? And then I'm blending it. You see me blending it a little? Because it cleaned it up, made it more of a better shape, right? You can even do it up here if you want. I wouldn't go too heavy though, because then you get that light color up there. But you could if you wanted to with the right brush. See how that eyebrow, it's just natural for me. Now you could go in and just add a little color on your lid if you want to, but this is what I use for the foundation around my eyes. So I'm just gonna make sure that's not too light. It had foundation on it still from earlier. Now I really need the glasses for that, because I'm not done. I'm gonna do the other eyebrow too. Yeah, thank you. This is for old people too, by the way. This is how we want to be natural. We don't want to go out house looking like with them crazy block eyebrows. It looks so pretty on younger people, but for me, I just want something natural that's not going to look like I have no eyebrows. So I'm going to take the pencil and do the same thing or the brush, and do the same thing with this other side where I use that thin pencil. And it's easy. And you know where I learned this? From a Mac girl, a long time ago. I was tired of messing up on line, but then I stopped doing it because I was messing up so much. See how thin that line is there? And then I can blend it. If I didn't put too much on this brush, I can really blend it, but I think I put too much on this brush. So I'm using another brush to kind of blend that a little bit because I got too much product on the brush and I don't want it to. And the reason, let me tell you why we just do a little bit under there. The reason we do that is because, for one thing, I'm covering those extra hairs because I haven't waxed in so long. But the other thing I'm doing is keeping it up thin, not too far down. I also learned this. If you have hooded eyes, which a lot of us that are older have hooded eyes, and that's the eyes that have like the extra meat, like right here. It's not flat. I got that extra thick crease there. That's hooded eyes. So you don't want it to come down further. We got loud traffic. You don't want it to come down further because it just accents your hood more when you have it lower down. So keep it kind of tight up here. And so I will probably take a little product and go up here too, just to get anything, and not too much right here because those are your brisk hairs, right? You want them to be there from the beginning, like we did in the beginning. So you can kind of get it a little less wild and more tamed with that brown. See, it's just very simple. It's not much. And then going with some Good Eye mascara. I put a little bit on, so I'm just kind of, because they're dry now, pushing them up a little bit where you can see them a little better with the pencil. Because it's dry now. You don't have to curl them with a curler. You can just do this. How is that? Do you guys remember me doing this all the time with my eyes with no glasses? Up on the camera. I'm trying not to do that. I hated when I would do that, but I couldn't see. So that's it. That's all I wanted to show you right now. I'm not even going to show you my product. Maybe I'll come back online someday and do a live and show my product, but I'm still in the process of getting the bottles filled. And once that happens, we'll launch in June. I'm thinking late June. So that's going to be my skincare. And that one is a Mega Repair Cream. And the Mega Repair Cream, it helps with lines and giving you supple skin. As you can see, I used to have some pretty serious lines here that it kind of filled in and it repaired my skin. I was using it every day. And I ran out. I got a corner left in my little sample bottle. So I ran out. I'm just waiting for my stuff. So sometime in June, I'll get it. But then it will be on sale. And I also have, this is like a sample bottle. There's stuff in it, but it's the squalene oil. I use that every day. And what happened is when I went to Africa, I didn't bring this little sample bottle of the Mega Repair Cream because it was almost gone. And I was saving it, holding on to it. But I did bring this sample of the squalene, which is like an oil. I'm telling you, my skin, it was different. It was even better. And I wasn't really heavy with the squalene before when I would use, I thought the Mega Repair Cream was the big thing. I had to always have that. So that's why it's almost gone. And the squalene, I was kind of using it, but I really used it while I was gone. And I noticed that my skin was well moisturized and it looks really healthy. And people keep telling me I'm looking younger and better. Yes, I am. I'm using my product. And they're not the only products I use. Remember, you're not going with one whole line, like a whole Mary Kay line of this and that. We don't do that these days. We have bits of other things, right? So that's really helped me enhance what I was already using.